Hello and thanks so much for checking out this video tutorial. My name is Chris and I'm from Tech Coaches, here once again with my colleagues from the Brain Injury Association of Waterloo-Wellington with a tutorial designed to boost your digital literacy. In this video tutorial, we're going to explore digital assistants like Apple's Siri and the Google Assistant, plus we're also going to talk about voice dictation, which will allow you to do all of the typing with your voice instead of using the on-screen keyboard on your tablet or smartphone. So if you're ready for it, let's get into it. Let's start with the basics. A digital assistant is an AI-powered tool that listens to your voice commands and then helps you complete the tasks that you asked it to do. Two of the most popular digital assistants are Apple's Siri and Google Assistant. Whether you're using an iPhone or an Android device, these tools can make your life easier by responding to simple voice requests, no need for tapping the screen or using the keyboard. Digital assistants are more than just a voice on your phone. They are powerful tools, and they can simplify your daily life. With just a simple voice command, you can send text messages, make phone and video calls, and set reminders or alarms to keep yourself on track. Do you need any quick answers? Just ask and your digital assistant can provide information instantly. You can also control smart home devices, like adjusting a thermostat, turning off the lights, or even sending some content to your smart speaker to listen to. If you're on the go, your assistant can help you navigate and find locations with step-by-step directions. And for those who love to travel or learn new languages, digital assistants can even translate words and phrases in real time. These features make digital assistants a convenient and hands-free way to stay organized and connected. Let's take a look at a few key examples. First, let's take a look at Siri on an Apple iPad. When you've activated Siri, you'll notice that there's a glowing orb in the bottom right-hand corner. In this example, I started the interaction with the key phrase, "Hey Siri." After saying it, I can then follow up with what I would like it to do. In this case, I said, "Remind me to buy groceries at 7 p.m." And Siri very quickly responded with, "Okay, I added it," and then showed me the reminder to buy groceries set for today at 7 p.m. It's that simple. Now, later on today, at 7 p.m., I will get a notification that's reminding me to go and buy some groceries. We'll also take a look at Google Assistant from an Android device. In this scenario, I'm using a Samsung Galaxy tablet. I say the secret phrase to get started with the Google Assistant, which is, "Hey Google." Afterwards, it says, "How can I help you?" and it displays that message in the bottom center position of the screen. Afterwards, I'm able to ask it for what I would like it to do. In this example, I asked it to set an alarm tomorrow for 6 a.m. A few seconds later, the Google Assistant says, "You got it. Your alarm is set for tomorrow at 6 a.m. And now, automatically, the alarm app has a 6 a.m. alarm added to it, and tomorrow it will go off automatically at the appropriate time. Once again, we're back on an Apple iPad using Siri, and to start the digital assistant, I say the key phrase, "Hey Siri," and that opens up the glowing orb in the bottom right corner. After I say, "Hey Siri," I can then say, "What will the weather be like on Friday?" And Siri quickly does some research on the internet and says to me, "Expect some clear skies on Friday," and shows me the weather. Very helpful. For this next example, we'll switch back over to using an Android tablet and the Google Assistant. For this example, I'm going to start with the key phrase, "Hey Google," and then it's going to offer to help me with something. So after it offers that, I say, "How many kilometers are in a mile?" Shortly thereafter, the answer pops up on the screen as Google does the calculation online and determines that 1.609 kilometers are in 1 mile. I also think about using a similar feature when I want to do kitchen conversions or any other mathematical problems. For the next illustration, let's switch back over to an Apple iPad and use Siri. After saying the key phrase, "Hey Siri," and I see the orb in the bottom right corner, I'm now ready to put in my request. In this scenario, I said, "Hey Siri, give me directions to the nearest coffee shop." Now in this example, I did give it access to the location that I'm currently at, and it was able to calculate that there were several coffee shops close by. So the response that Siri gave to me was, "Which one?" Now from here, I can see a list that Siri puts in front of me of the different coffee shops in the area. All I need to do is say the name of the coffee shop, and it knows what to do. In this scenario, I said Zappa Projects, and Apple Siri very quickly popped up with a map that showed me how to move from point A to point B, which was only a 7-minute walk. Good thing, because I really needed a cup of coffee. For the last example, I'm going to switch back over to using an Android device with Google Assistant. Here I started with the key phrase, "Hey Google," and after it offered to help me, I requested it to play Simon and Garfunkel on YouTube. After a short second or two, it popped up on the screen with an open button that I now have to actually tap on to stimulate YouTube's app opening. After I do that, I now have a complete playlist of Simon and Garfunkel to enjoy all afternoon. Hopefully, by checking out these various examples of using a digital assistant, you can see where the value would lie in your own personal life. Now that you know what digital assistants can do, let's talk about how you can get one set up on your own device. To start using a digital assistant like Apple's Siri or the Google Assistant, you'll need to turn it on and set up voice match. This helps your device recognize your particular voice and respond only to you, making interactions more secure and personalized. Let's walk through the steps so that you can enable your assistant and complete the voice match setup so that you can start using hands-free commands with ease. Let's start by walking through how to set up Hey Siri voice activation on an iPad running iOS 18. The process would be the same if you were using an iPhone. First, open the Settings app. Scroll down to find Siri in the main menu. Tap on it to access the Siri-specific settings. Next, you want to select Talk to Siri from the options provided. When you're on this screen, you can now choose Hey Siri from the list. When you do this, setting up the Hey Siri feature will begin automatically. You click the Continue button to begin. From here, the setup asks you to read out a number of statements so that the device you're using can learn the sound of your voice. Hey Siri, how's the weather? Hey Siri, send a message. Hey Siri, set a timer for 3 minutes. Hey Siri, get directions home. Hey Siri, play some music. After I finish this, Siri is ready to use. You'll notice in the settings, Hey Siri has now been selected and there's a blue check mark to the right of it. From this point on, whenever I say Hey Siri in the presence of my iPad, Siri will automatically start and I will see the orb glowing in the bottom right corner of the device. Now let's go through the steps to set up Google Assistant on your Android tablet or smartphone. First, we start by opening the Google Search app. Next, you need to access the settings by tapping on the profile picture in the top right corner. In this example, it's a green circle with a capital A. Once you tap on this, it will access a new window automatically. And if you scroll down in this window, you will find the option that reads Settings. Tap on that, and it will take you into the Settings menu, where you will now have to look for Google Assistant. Once you've opened the Google Assistant settings, you'll want to scroll down on the screen until you find General. After tapping on General, you can then see a switch that you need to flip on to enable the Google Assistant. Then you want to return to the settings using the back button in the top left corner. When you're in the settings menu again, you want to scroll down until you find Voice Match. Tap on this and it will allow you to flip a switch that will start the Hey Google configuration process. They call this Voice Match on Android. After reading and agreeing to the terms and services that pop up on the screen, a process to set up the Hey Google feature begins. Similar to Siri, I need to read out some statements so that my device can learn the sound of my voice. Hey Google, help me write a thank you note. Hey Google, what's the weather tomorrow? Okay Google, explain how a rainbow is formed. Okay Google, set a timer for 5 minutes. Once I've repeated all of the statements, I'm ready to go. I now have to click the next button in the bottom right-hand corner. That returns me to the settings menu where I can now see that the switch is changed to blue, so it means that Hey Google is now set up. Moving forward, whenever I say Hey Google, my tablet or smartphone will automatically start using the Google Assistant app. Using these digital assistant tools is truly a game changer in terms of how you interact with your device. Now that we've explored how digital assistants can help with tasks using voice commands, let's take a closer look at another useful voice-powered feature called voice dictation. Voice dictation allows you to speak instead of type, which makes it easier to compose messages, emails, notes, or even filling out online forms. This feature instantly converts your spoken words into text, saving time and effort. Voice dictation on any device is going to be valuable for so many reasons. It's great for hands-free messaging and note-taking, making it easy to stay connected without needing to type. It also allows for faster text entry, so you can get your thoughts down quickly without worrying about typos. For those with mobility challenges, voice dictation provides improved accessibility, making digital communication more inclusive. And even for those without mobility concerns, it helps reduce strain on fingers and eyes from excessive typing. Best of all, voice dictation works in most apps that involve typing, so whether you're sending a message, composing an email, or taking notes, even doing a simple Google search, you can speak and let your device do the typing for you. Next, let's go over the process for enabling voice dictation on your mobile device so that you can get started using it right away. Sometimes called voice typing on Android devices, voice dictation needs to be set up in the settings, so that's where we begin. From the settings, you want to look in the menu for General Management. When you find that, you want to select Keyboard List and Default from the options provided. From there, you want to flip the switch that was gray so that it turns to blue next to Google Voice Typing. We then need to push the back button to return to the General Management options, which is the left-facing arrow at the top of the screen. From the General Management settings list, next we have to select Samsung Keyboard Settings. From the keyboard settings, I need to make sure that I scroll down so that I see more of the options on the lower part of the menu, and from there I can select Voice Input. When I'm on the screen, I'm now able to select Google Voice Typing from the list. This will now make the default voice dictation option on my device's keyboard set to Google Voice instead of any of the other options that might have come with my device. You can see in this example that in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, right underneath the keyboard, there is a little image of a microphone. When I tap on this, it starts using the voice dictation feature. I know it's been enabled because I can see this on the screen, which means that it's now listening. I can now see everything that I say written down on the screen, and to finish, I simply tap the blue microphone button at the bottom of the screen and it will stop writing down anything said. Similar to Android, if we're using an Apple device, we also need the Settings app to configure voice dictation. From the Settings app, find General in the main list. Then scroll down a little bit on the General options until you find Keyboard. From there, be sure to scroll down in the keyboard options until you find where it says Enable Dictation. You'll want to flip this switch to on, and that's all you need to do to turn on the feature. In this example, you can now see a little microphone button at the bottom of the keyboard. When the button is dark gray, that means it is engaged. Additionally, you'll notice that there's a small yellow microphone icon in amongst the text that's being typed out for you. This means that it's actively listening and writing things down. When you're finished, simply tap on that same button on the bottom of the keyboard and it will stop writing down your words. Now that you know what voice dictation is and how to set it up on your device, let's go over some best practices to get the most accurate results when you're using it. First, speak clearly and at a moderate pace. This helps your device understand your words more accurately. Next, use punctuation commands, which are going to be important for structured messages like sentences and paragraphs. For example, say comma to insert a comma. Say period or full stop to end a sentence with a period. Say question mark to insert a question mark. And finally, say new paragraph to start a new paragraph. To improve accuracy, avoid background noise in the room as much as possible whenever you're using voice dictation. A quiet environment ensures your device picks up your voice without distractions. Finally, always check and edit your text before you send it to somebody. While voice dictation is powerful, it's always good to review for any small errors before hitting send. By following these tips, you can use voice dictation more effectively and streamline your communication in any app that accepts typing. And that's a wrap for our video tutorial all about digital assistants and voice dictation. I hope that you were able to get some value out of this tutorial, and I wish you all the best on your digital literacy journey.